Okay, well, I was just enjoying that. And when I come back, I'll be joined by the UN8 country director. We're going to be talking about that particular promotion. What is it about protecting the goal? Stay with me right here. I'll come back with my banner pretty shortly. All right, so from that debate, the Black Stars, whether or not they should take their wives and girlfriends to Brazil 2014, from that discussion, we go to protecting the goal line. And a bit of the Ghana chapter of the Protect the Goal, which is a campaign, has been launched in partnership with the UN8, the Ghana Football Association, and Ghana AIDS Commission. Let's get some more detail on that. Joining me now is Mr. Haile. I'll just stick to Haile. I'll try the first name, Germain. I hope I got it right, but he's the UN8 country director. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Thank you for your time.
It's a pleasure.
So this campaign we've been seeing on television, tell us about it.
This campaign started globally when UNAIDS and FIFA agreed to use this opportunity of the upcoming World Cup games to reach out to as many youth as possible around the world with messages. And for us, it was also an opportunity to contextualize that campaign to the Ghana situation. And we looked at our HIV evidence, and then based on that, we pulled together some messages under this Protect the Goal campaign for Ghana. And that's what we're trying to get across to Ghanaians.
So you essentially are saying people should protect themselves. But why not saying abstain?
Well, abstain is also good. But human nature doesn't really allow 100% of people to adhere to that. So to those who are not able to abstain, then we need to take it to the next level to make sure that in the end of the day, what matters is how you are able to protect yourself. As a human being, you're faced with several risks that are there around you, but somehow you need to find a way to empower yourself, to protect yourself from some harm, and also to promote yourself where there is some good. So that ability in the person is what we look at. If you see, for example, we talk about protect the goal. The whole concept of protect comes from the fact that a football team with 11 players on the field, their primary interest is to protect the goal. They don't want any goal to be scored against them. And in football, there are three possibilities. One is to win, one is to come even, and the third one is to lose. So when you are dealing with these three probabilities, you first want to eliminate the worst probability, which is to lose. So if you protect your goal, and no goal is scored against you, you have eliminated the possibility of losing. So now it becomes a win-win situation. You either draw or you win, depending on how you perform. So that is what we draw from this fact, and that's what we say now. The power of protection is such that if you look at it, and if it does give you the ability to win, then it is something also that you can and must apply to yourself. So we talk about practicing safe sex, including abstention, if that is possible. But if it is not possible, you need to follow the three basics. Use a condom at all times. Try to find out what your HIV status is. So be a health-seeking personality. And then third is reduce numbers of sexual partners that you have, because each time you add one more sexual partner, you increase your chances or your risks to being infected by threefold. So if you're having sexual contact with 3 people, that means you have increased your chances to almost 1,000% to be infected. So this is what we try to say, because the youth today, the evidence shows in Ghana that there is very low condom use. And very low knowledge of own HIV status. And in most cases, even knowledge about HIV itself.
People usually do not want to know.
They do not want to.
Because they say, if I don't know, then I'm not under any sort of pressure. It's better I don't know than to know that I am HIV positive?
You see, that is the denialism that is affecting a lot of people. And when we look at that particular character, of course, we know the basis of that is the high levels of stigma that we have. So therefore, that is one reason. But the other reason is, for people who seem to have found themselves in a position where they have some social status, and that they want to protect that status, and they don't want to be seen as, doing something that is negative. Because in the past, communication about HIV and AIDS was so negative that if you are HIV positive, it's because you're promiscuous, it's because you're this and that. But actually, it is not the case, because in nearly 100%, or say 99.9%, you don't know that you're getting infected. So how can it be now all of a sudden a social mistake? Because you don't know when you're being infected, because you don't know that, you cannot be held responsible by society for being infected, and most of all by yourself. So that's what we're saying. If you are the type to know your status for your own health, not for anybody's business, or not to advertise yourself in any way, but for your own health, then it is really important that you know, because if you know, then you get help and you can live a normal life. HIV is no more a killer disease.
It's true, and especially when you're pregnant as well, it's good that you know, so that the child that you're carrying could be protected.
Yes, and actually we do encourage a lot when pregnant women come to the clinics. We do encourage them to do HIV tests, because now it becomes not about the mother alone, but it's also about the new life that is coming. That's what we call in our campaign, creating a generation of free of AIDS. That is simply because it is possible. Yes.
But we've also been told that recently the number of AIDS patients in the country is coming down, or people, not AIDS patients, but people who get infected by AIDS. There's something that we're doing right in Ghana, right?
Oh, there are many things that we're doing right in Ghana. That is now from the response point of view. Even though we still have issues of stigma, and also this personal stigma like what we were just talking about now. In terms of the response, there has been a great amount of work done in Ghana. And as we speak now, actually the Ghana HIV response is probably the leading response in the world in terms of setting the bar and addressing the issues. We last year's report indicated that we are down by about 66% on new HIV infections among adults.
In Ghana?
In Ghana. And also down by 76% in terms of newborn HIV infection. And also on the AIDS patients, down by about 33% of deaths due to HIV.
It means that even those who do have HIV are taking care of themselves.
Yes, that is now what I was going to come to, and the question is how are we achieving this, and that is in the last 3 to 4 years, 3 years especially, the number of people that have been put on treatment has increased so much, more than doubled, that the more people are on treatment, then the less the new infections. So that is the correlation between the two. We are also planning to do a case study on Ghana on how it is a leading achiever in terms of reducing newborn infection. And we feel that because, one, we have more or less managed to convince every single mother that comes, or pregnant woman that comes to the clinic, to be tested.
They don't even tell you. They just do the tests. Except that, they will tell you that this and this and this is what we have done. We would give you the results and take you through.
Well,
so it's become almost compulsory.
I personally think it's a good idea to do that.
Yeah, I do too.
Yes, it's a good idea. But also we need to also consider that totality of being a human being about the mother as well, so that she is also informed properly that tests are being done, and it needs to be explained to her why those tests are being done. And mostly the mothers will agree anyhow.
Yeah, but some of the men also think, okay, if my wife does it and she's negative, then I am negative too.
Oh, that's very wrong. Oh my goodness, that is absolutely wrong. It's just a matter of chance. Maybe they are both faithful to each other, and he's not going to other women, and she's not going to other men. So maybe that is what keeping the delay in the seroprevalence of the man, but eventually he's going to be positive.
So this football campaign, I mean, we love football as Ghanaians.
Yes.
Is that why you're using the players and football and goal?
Yes, this is to get the attention of people, so that people listen, so that they relate. And also the communication style is changing as well. Instead of the authorities staying, coming there to give them messages and so on, I think it's about time that society embraces this issue. And all those that have the platform, like yourselves here, and the players and others who have large following, are also part of the education. So this is a good opportunity to start. Actually, we started last year with the AFCON games. That's when our campaign in Ghana was launched. We think that it is about time that people really took the responsibility. And one more information that I need to impart here is, while we see that there is an overall decline of new HIV infections, within that HIV epidemic, you have small epidemics of population groups. There is a sign of increasing infection among the urbanites, the more educated, the more affluent, the middle class, the university students, and so on.
Do we know why?
Well, we do know why, because this is a group that has decided to go underground even on themselves on this issue of testing, knowing their status, using condom, and being careful. And this is leading now to the assumption that it is become increasingly difficult to reach this group of people with messages that empowers each one of them so that they are able to protect themselves. So it's also partly aimed at them, and as you have seen, we have been soliciting support by various celebrities to come and support, pledge their support to the campaign, because these are the people who are being affected primarily, and also they are the people who are able to reach out to this group of people in terms of carrying out the messages.
So this campaign has been launched elsewhere. What sort of impacts has it had?
This campaign has been launched elsewhere in the sense that it was launched last year at AFCON, but I think Ghana was the country that really took it seriously. So I think we are even leading in this campaign. Now many other countries are beginning to emulate what we're doing here. Impact is a very it's a very important word. You see impact over a period of time. But in terms of simplifying the messages and in terms of getting that catchy, that attention that people need to give, I think we have done well in that sense. I mean, as a result, even I'm here right now. Joy never invited me before. Nobody talked to me about this, but you see, this is the impact we have now.
Usually we talk to the Ghana AIDS Commission.
Yes.
Yeah, we talk to other organizations that do the same, almost the same work that you do. You are up there. But let's talk about discrimination. Do you have records of high incidences of discrimination in Ghana?
Oh, yes. In fact, if there is anything that has been a very challenging and difficult aspect of the Ghana HIV response, is the stigma and discrimination. Discrimination against certain population groups, discrimination against women, especially if they are sex workers, and also if you are HIV positive. People asking you to leave the house. They don't want to rent the house anymore to you because you're HIV positive. Some workplaces also, literally telling you to go away. So there has been
we don't. I mean, do we know for a fact that some organizations would ask you to undertake an HIV test before they give you job? I mean, we know that it's happening elsewhere. For instance, in Uganda.
Yeah,
exactly.
Uganda, Angola.
That doesn't happen in Ghana, does it?
No, it will happen in Nigeria also. No, it doesn't happen in Ghana. And in that sense, in terms of organizations demanding, that doesn't happen. At some point, insurance is used to demand that, but I think that's no more there. And remember also, we are in the process of finalizing the HIV law, which now should prohibit by law any kind of discrimination, structural, policy, or political discrimination against people living with HIV. And that is in the making.
So generally, what sort of support do you give to Ghana in terms of our fight against HIV?
You mean UNAIDS?
UNAIDS.
Oh. Well, I mean, we are an embodiment, really. We work exactly like Ghana AIDS Commission. where we coordinate the entire UN system and its support to the national response. And also we provide a lot of policy and capacity development assistance. And also we are continuously engaged in all aspects of the response together with the Ghana AIDS Commission and the other partners that are in the response on HIV.
So generally, would you say that you're impressed by the government's commitment to the fight against HIV?
Oh, yes.
How about us, the people?
Yes, I mean even the people. You see, the people, that they react to information. They react to the knowledge that they have. And when I look at what is happening in Ghana, first of all, there are very, very strong institutions in Ghana. The research institutions are also very well organized and very much involved in the response. The political leadership is very much committed, and even if you have noticed what Ghana is going through in terms of the fiscal crisis, they are still able to pay for the HIV response what was planned throughout in the budget. That shows you the level of commitment. When there is so much crisis, they're still sustaining that. And in fact, recently even increased the allocation for HIV. And also the decision government took to embark on promoting local production of pharmaceuticals, especially that, and also basically pharmaceuticals, and allocating a lot of money also to as an incentive for that. This shows you that the country is committed, really committed, and that's why also you see this excellent result.
So
as well.
in the situation where we lack the drugs, what would UNAIDS, for instance, do?
UNAIDS will continue to present the case of Ghana internationally where there is need for that. But UNAIDS have also been in the forefront in helping the AU come up with a continental-wide policy. Whenever there is a shortage of drug, we step in usually to broker between those that have the money and the government to ensure that the drugs are not... there is no drug shortage in the country. And basically we do take what is happening to the country and put it on the agenda all the time. And we are also working very closely with government to make sure that government also does not drop the ball in terms of their commitment and attention to this response. And then we get involved in such mass communication as well.
But is it true that globally funds to fight HIV in terms of global support has been cut down? I mean, perhaps obviously because of the crisis in terms of the economy.
Yes, it has declined. There doesn't seem to be any sign in the short term that is going to come around. But as you know, we are ending by 2015 the current MDGs, and we are already engaged in a wider discussion about post-2015. And we are talking about sustainable development agenda in the post-2015. And in that arena, the discussion is exactly what is needed and how do we meet these. And as you know, the economic situation of the world is also changing. While some are having crisis and the economies are going down, others are going up. So how do you now leverage this new economy that is emerging and this new opportunity for further partnership, and also soliciting some financial support? But definitely the world has already started to sit and to discuss about it. And as you know, the president of Ghana is also a commissioner in that particular commission that is talking about how to deal with HIV in the post-2015. And the recent meeting they had in London in February, he made a very, very passionate appeal at that meeting where he said, while others who are working with us use our own crisis and poverty to make money, why are we not now turning that opportunity for our own good and turning our misery into an opportunity for growth? And I think that was a very, very spot-on statement. And people were shocked when they heard that. And this is a man who did not even have any paper in front of him when he was engaging them for 2 whole days And he was directly speaking as a leader, as a passionate person, and also as somebody who has been so much involved in HIV leadership in Ghana. It was a very good impact. So that's where we're heading.
So big question. Why don't we still have a cure for HIV/AIDS?
Well, that is a matter of a scientific nature. Not only HIV, up to now, mankind has not found a cure to any viral diseases. But I think out of all viral diseases, the closest that we have gotten to finding a cure in terms of research is actually HIV. If you notice, when we first started in the response way back, when medicines were being developed, people had to take up to 8 or 9 kinds of tablets a day. And that was reduced to 3 tablets for some time. And that has now been reduced to 1 tablet a day. And now the new technology is we're going to have pills now that you take once a month. And in a few years' time, we're going to have 1 every 6 months. So that the medical technology is improving each time. So sometimes you feel that if you simplify treatment to a point where the person does not have to go through a very difficult process to adhere, then it's just as good as getting close to the cure, because what we are saying is, if you, and this is also part of the campaign, if you know your status and you are immediately put on treatment before your body, submits to the virus, then the chances that your system can, in the end, have a situation where there is it's almost impossible to detect the virus, then that's almost as good as cure. But what we want is that one vaccination that cures everybody. I think we may be a few years off on that one, but I see it coming because there has been a lot of investment in research in this area.
One of the other issues that persons with HIV have to battle with is how expensive the drug is. I mean, it's not totally for free, is it?
No, it is totally for free. The ARVs are 100% for free to anybody.
So how come some other persons, complain?
Yes, people used to complain because when they went to the facilities, they would be charged a certain amount for other non-drug related expenses. There are some machines that you have to run to do the CD4 count and the viral load count and so on. And they need reagents and they need some chemicals, and some repair work to be done. So they were collecting money on that, but that has now stopped. So anybody who needs HIV treatment can go to anywhere and they don't have to pay anything.
So if you're being made to pay some things, then you can report?
Oh yeah, definitely. Please do report.
So where do you go to?
Ghana AIDS Commission. If the person has an NHIS card, also NHIS. Yeah.
So what's our target for this year? I mean, what is your target for the country this year? Where do you want us to get to in terms of lowering the number of people who are infected by HIV?
When we look at the national and also MDG goals, we have surpassed the targets in terms of that.
But we're not relaxing.
No. All the more now to be, because when in football, when you go through to the next level, you don't relax. It becomes more tense because in the end you have to capture the trophy, and the tension and the focus and the investment increases. It doesn't go down. So I hope that's exactly how we should be seeing this response. But I think this year we have just started, as we speak, a retargeting exercise. So we're going to come up with targets because we are looking at really addressing the MDG targets effectively throughout on all the indicators. And we have to make sure that we're not lagging in anything. In fact, we're even doubling the outcome. So I think we are going in that direction up to 2015. At 2015, we will be writing the new National Strategic Plan, which will be looking now into the next 5 years after that. And more ambitious targets will be set on that. It is possible to be ambitious in Ghana because the resources in terms of a little bit of money, yes, but in terms of everything else, leadership, research, scientific institutions, systems, health systems, this country doesn't need anybody's support. it can really show on its own.
We can?
Yes, and the human capital in Ghana is unmatched with many other countries.
So I guess we have no excuse then.
No, there is no excuse. There is, I mean, all the indications are that Ghana can succeed. Yes.
All right, Mr. Jaime. Thank you so much for your time. We'll bring you here again, seeing that you love to be in our studio.
Yeah.
We'll call you again. But thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you.
All right, so do not discriminate against persons with HIV. We're all the same. And most importantly, please know your status. Go and check in. It's for your own interests. So that's it for the AM show today, Thursday. Join us again tomorrow from 6 to 9. And our show is proudly brought to you by Mixi Coffee.